Hi friends, we've just finished our first weekend of ranked ladders, and I've seen lots of you asking how to complete the ladder champion challenge. Well, I'm going to explain it for you all in this video, plus we'll look at how many points you need based on the first weekend to get into that top tier. So, the Ranked Champion Challenge is referring to the Tier 1 bracket in your leaderboard, for which you have to achieve 3 times in one split if you want that green dive trail. It's the highest you can get in your leaderboard, but that doesn't mean you need to be first. There could be up to 10 players finishing in this bracket, and that's because it's the top 10% of players in your leaderboard. Although sometimes it shows there's 100 players in your leaderboard, it's possible not all of those 100 players have completed their minimum of 10 ranked matches during the ladder weekend. Basically, it just doesn't count them as players. If you then look at that tier 1 top bracket, you can see the bottom person on that list and the number of points they've got, and that's the number you would need to target to get yourself into that championship bracket. Now, in terms of how the points are calculated for this, again, it's fairly simple. You play 10 ranked games. Any subsequent games you play after that will then be compared against those first 10 games you played, and ultimately it's going to take the best 10 games you've played across the ladder weekend. All of the RP from those 10 games is then added up, and that's the number of points you see in the leaderboard. It is worth noting your final position won't count towards the challenge until the ladder is closed. So now you've got an idea about the points, let's work out how many kills and placement points you need to get on average to be able to make it into those tier 1 leaderboards. From what I've seen, there's a bit of a range for that tier 1 leaderboard. I've seen tier 1s around that 2000 RP point marker, but I have also seen it go as high as just over 4000 points. I'm not sure I've seen above 4000, but definitely within the 4000 bracket. That means you would need to average around 11 KP with a first place finish. Of course, KP can be your kills alone, but it could also be assists and participation. So effectively having a good squad, much like it helps you in normal ranked, also helps you climb up the leaderboard for these ladder weekends. It does also show that you can't just rat it out and rely on placement points. If you're in one of the harder leaderboards, where you've got players getting 3, 4, maybe above that 1000 RP to get into tier 1, you're definitely going to have to get a lot of KP as well as high placements. And because it's your 10 best games, you can take as many games as you like to get there, as long as you can squeeze them in while the ladder's running over the weekend. So that's a little bit about how the points can help you out. I will say one last thing about the ladder matches and how they work. They're based on your current normal rank. And that means, annoyingly, if you're in the higher ranks, your entry cost is going to be higher. Obviously, the skill level's also going to be higher, and therefore it could be harder to earn big amounts of RP if you're into those higher lobbies, unless you're a really good player or you've got a really good team. Effectively, that means you could benefit from being in a lower rank and trying out the leaderboards. That's not something you can really do about this split, but if ranked ladders continue next split, which I believe they're due to unless Respawn have a change of heart, then maybe it's something to think about next split. And by that I mean, you could focus your ranked playing times just at the ladder weekends and not play during the week. Saving that grind purely for the ladders should give you slightly more balanced lobbies and give you a better chance to earn that RP. It's just a strategy if you're struggling to get into that tier 1 bracket. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.